Previously on Kimba TV. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction is from here. So, do you want to put it on here? Here, let's. Here. Good morning. All right, I'm gonna go do some cardio. Y'all know what it is? Is that a good low or a bad low? What's S&P looking like? Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get nasty with me? Gentlemen, what y'all think about this? What y'all think about that, man? Who juicing? All right, the stream alert is out. Oh my God. What a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. We juicing on this thing. Boy, we juicing on this thing, my boy. How we doing, Lions? How we doing, Lions? It's gotta be testnet. We're well above $1 million in profit right now. Congratulations to everybody. I got one of my Kraken and Blowfins hit. I shaved 10 off of, let me see. Yeah, I shaved 10 off of Blowfin and 4 off of the MEXC. So the MEXC that was 29 is now 25. So, anyways, just sticking to the plan. I'm gonna go do some cardio real quick. So you already know what I'm looking for. You already know what edge I'm looking for. We're gonna have some fun today, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute Mental says, did you get into a hedge long already? Nope. If you're in one, I wouldn't really worry too much, but I want to wait for S&P. I mean, I'm 40 minutes away from S&P, so, but like, this is good. This is, do you remember how I said I would play this? If this is a sweep, it won't lose what? Absolute. If this is a sweep, it won't lose what? There's a lot of things kind of helping you, whether you're looking for bullish confirmation or bullish invalidation. So, whether it's a structural edge, is this the sweep? Because it needs to snap back and start going up real quick. Do you have CVD hidden divergence? Do you have CVD regular divergence? Do you have RSI divergence? So this is, again, another one of those moments where we find out who knows what the fuck they're doing and who doesn't. You saw that my shorts are still open, yes? Did I TP a little bit? Yes. Alrighty. So I don't want to cheat you out of your own sort of opportunity to improve, but in my opinion, I feel like we prepped all fucking day on how to look for edge and what kind of reasons you would look for to take along. So if you need to get caught up, exclamation YouTube. I don't know how many times I said it yesterday. Does anybody have any questions? Does everybody feel prepared? Is everybody good to go? Try to think of all the things that you learned and combine that bitch today. Alrighty? Hey, you gotta enjoy this bitch, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta enjoy it. If you're in a long, you want CME to go. Just blast through these CME gaps, okay? If you're in a long, the only thing you need now, blast through, get above the CME gap, clear that, you're off to the races. Who juicing? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're gonna be doing this all fucking day. I hope you guys are ready. Okay, I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are ready to juice. All right, and I don't really give a shit if you took a long there. I don't care if none of what I just said made sense. It will, it shall, and we gonna juice the fuck up. But again, I don't care if you're in the long. I don't care if you're in the short. I don't care if you miss the long. I don't care if you miss the short. The only thing that matters is, do you know what you're doing? Maybe you got lucky because you've just been watching me and you saw the levels and you put some blind limits in. You know, juicing doesn't mean that you know what you're doing. Eventually, the math is going to find out if you really know what you're doing. So, we also went over a couple of scenarios where if you didn't take that long down there, what kind of bullish retests you could be expecting. So as always, make sure you have levels identified to the upside. Make sure you have levels identified to the downside, and place your bets. Identifying the level, anticipating edge, confirming the edge. All math. Is there any question about this? How many of y'all were here in the morning for this? How many of y'all were here in the morning for the the dollar TA? You think crazy? You think how crazy, right? The price was like here. I don't even know where it was. But good down there, bad. Okay, identify the level. What would be some sort of edge? Structural edge, okay, swing fail, okay. First candle forms, second candle confirmed. All the mathematical stuff played out. If it really is a sweep, it wouldn't lose the blank. So ever since it was here, you know, broke it down for you. Why is the dollar important today? Volume. If the dollar is going to pump, what do you think S&P might do? If S&P does something, what do you think Bitcoin might do? Are those good or bad lows? Are those good or bad lows? We're all looking at the same shit. Did all the longs get stopped out? 17 million, 6 million, 7 million, 17 million, 4 million, 4 million. Still 35 million in longs that are still open from the top. There's 35 million in longs that are trapped that are in the red right now, theoretically, on average. So you've got bad lows and you still have stubborn longs that still haven't stopped out. Any questions? You guys good? We're all looking at the same shit. The only way that bulls would really convince me is it gets above value area low and it turns that bitch into support and then we fly. Okay, and I'm playing R. Kelly all night long. Trader 1, Trader 2, Trader 3, Trader 4, Trader 5, Trader 6. The race is called I don't know what a bad high, bad low is. On your mark, get set, go. This guy. Hey chat, what's a bad low? Chat, what's a bad low? Anybody know what a bad low is? Hello? What's a bad low? Okay, I'm in the Discord. Okay, I see Mandela's video. I'm going to watch Mandela's video. I don't need y'all to be the best. Just need your best. Effort is all you can control, ladies and gentlemen. You either want it or you don't. Let's go. Exo says, bro, time is slow or what is this? Do you remember? There's a couple of things that are in play right now. First things first, I know all the OGs are going to know this, but maybe for the Lion Cubs, it's going to be new. You should have something like this: CME, Coinbase, ETF, Binance, Bybit. If CME sweeps and Coinbase sweeps, ETF sweeps, but Binance and Bybit doesn't, what does it normally do? If CME doesn't sweep, Coinbase sweeps, ETF doesn't sweep, Binance and Bybit, what usually happens? You should have charts like this to kind of help you start notating these moments so you start to build a subconscious bias. Unless you can just freestyle it. Some people can, but that's always a chart that I always recommend people to have so that they don't lose track of the valuable data that they are given. If you can't remember what happened in the past, you're trading it for the first time every single time. Imagine being a 40-year-old grown-ass man and you're asking a girl out for the first time like it's the first time, every single time. They're gonna either clean it now or they're gonna save this for later, which means you might want to look for a blank over the holiday. See how we playing it? Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Are they gonna clean it and go? What we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, if you ferment the kimchi too long, this is what happens. It's gotta be testnet. It's gotta be testnet, ladies and gentlemen. It's gotta be. Whoa! Oh! Oh! Live pop pink. Live pop pink. Bitch, quit playing with me. Bitch, quit playing with me. Bitch, quit playing with me. Oh! The math is the math. Don't be mad at me. Useless fucking lines. Uno million. Uno million. Uno million. Whether I'm gonna be looking for a long or closing this short, it's all the same. How many minutes on the 30-minute candle close? If it really is a sweep, it shouldn't lose what? Well, okay then. We good? Guys, we good? You know, some motherfucker's gonna be like, why are you in a long from 59.5, man? Tell me why you took a long at 59.5. Don't be mad at me. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't predict the future, but I can remind you what we've all seen in the past. Grade me on a scale of 0 to 10. What do you guys think about the TA from the start of this morning? Maybe you guys want to give me a score for the whole week. Not too shabby. Not too bad. And you know, I didn't do anything that crazy. I didn't do anything special. And even though we juiced the fuck up on the short, it took us multiple attempts, right? But every single attempt, it was protected, and we protected our money, stop loss, and profit. Do you want to talk about this long? How many of y'all have already moved your stop loss into profit? When do you move your stop loss in profit? When do you put your stop loss in break even? And you know damn well that this bitch gonna do something like this. Stop it, stop it. Anyways, let's go. Are you guys ready? So for most of us, this is not the first time that we've seen a swing, okay? And no matter how high it goes, the protocols still remain the same. If it's a sweep, it shouldn't lose the blank, but it doesn't mean that it's supposed to go to the blank. Anyways, I'm rooting for all of y'all. Stay safe. And if it really is going to bounce, I don't really think that the edge is built in the day before a holiday weekend. So even if you're not in a long, I still think you have multiple days to kind of figure out when and where you might have another opportunistic moment to get into a long. One thing that we always like to kind of talk about is if it's really going to pump, it's going to stop out everybody that's trying to long. Have you ever been in a situation where you were longing and longing and longing and you get stopped out, and the one time you don't take it, the motherfucker pumps? Or you're shorting, and then the one time that you'd end up not taking that short, holy fuck, does it nuke? And you're just sitting there like, manipulation. That's what's supposed to happen. So you shouldn't feel bad, but it's how we use that information that we know to help us out. So we've all been there, done that. Usually the open interest resets. Okay? The only thing that is going against you when it comes to those protocols is that it's the weekend. So there's not enough real market makers and real money that's going to actually punish. That's why the CME gap play, like we were talking about in the morning, let's say that derivatives pump now. Okay. Some of you guys are going to want it to pump and then come back to make a gap to the upside. Some of you guys are going to want it to pump and then stay up there for a gap fill to the downside. So isn't it kind of cool that a couple, like 6-7 hours ago, we were already talking about this scenario? This is where CME closed. Derivatives are going. So you got to be thinking, okay, when the derivatives come back and traditional markets come back, there's going to be a gap. How do I want to play that? Honestly, I think that's about it. Did you guys see the pupinks? We pupinked and, got filled at the same time. So now actually it's, the MEXC and the Blofin got shaved, and so, but the longs are now bigger than the shorts. Shadow Dancer says, are your shorts just at break even, the ones that are running? No. I'm still up like 400,000 unrealized, 500,000 unrealized on the short, Shadow Dancer. I'm not going to let that go break even. Yeah. Do you want to talk about if that low is a good low or a bad low? What about on CME? You want me to be real? I think Friday or whenever CME comes back, I'm gonna get my long. But I'm filled at a satisfactory amount where I'm not gonna feel like I got left behind. I don't know. I'm saying all these things ahead of time. Do you remember when I said whatever we get filled on today, we should have the mental understanding that most likely we're going to get round tripped the first attempt anyways? There's probably not enough edge to conclusively say that we're going to go to 76. Quit playing with me. All right. 13 minutes. Prox1 says, will you add on retest? So Prox1, I feel like you already know what the answer is. It's going to depend on the data. What percent of my shorts are still running? Do you understand that I still have 33 to 35% of my shorts still running? My longs are bigger now. So do you, for example, do you know how to look at the open interest and be able to tell if it's bullish, if it's not bullish, if it's bearish, if it's not bearish? There might be a scenario where I close out the rest of the short, but I'm not adding on the retest. Prox 1, the CME low, is that good or bad? Do you think the CME is going to come back and clean that low when it comes back for an hour on Friday? Do you know that the CME is only open for 1 hour on Friday? So do you, depending on how far up derivatives pump, or it pumps and comes back, it's going to possibly make a gap, right? What if it makes a gap to the upside and then on Friday for an hour it pumps to the upside? Is that higher probability that it'll come back and close it, or lower probability? Or would you want, as soon as it gapped, to start leaking down a little bit, so when the markets open back up on Sunday, it can close the rest? So I need to see what it does on Friday. I need to see how it gaps. There's way too many like unknown variables. Fair? Doesn't all of that matter, brother? We've seen this shit together hundreds of times, I feel like. So like, doesn't it matter where the CME gaps and how it reacts for that hour on Friday? I would like to get that data before I make another decision. So that's how I would kind of navigate it. And really, if you weigh through all the bullshit, if you really want to weigh through all the bullshit, don't really try hard until Monday, when markets open. I would say that any long or short, for a matter of fact, that you take between now and Sunday, your emotional expectation is that you get round tripped or you get tiny profit. I think it would be a little bit rushing it to think that the long this weekend, today or tomorrow, is the one that's going to take you all the way to 76. Maybe, but you should look at the CME low yourself and you tell me if you think that's going to get cleaned. Maybe you should wait to see if it gaps on Friday and see how it closes after. It's just an hour that you would have to sit through. You know, unless you think it's going to mega dildo, green dildo with like $2,000, $3,000 on this 1 hour that's open, while everybody, Wall Street included, is like on a 4th of July weekend with their families, then maybe you can, play a little something. But ZZF says, is 59.3, is it a good low? As of right now, no, it's not the best, but you need to understand why, because you're going to fuck up if it does something like this. If you can't see for yourself if it's good or bad, you need to be able to do it. All right. The only reason why you're not juicing is because you don't know what's going on. There is no scenario where you're successful at this and you don't know what's going on. So it's 100% absolute certainty that you have to know what you're doing to have success in this game. All right. Being able to repeat what I said is not the same thing as understanding why I said it. Make sense? So you don't want to be a Mario Fibonacci where you just memorize what I say, but you don't really know what's going on. So you end up, longing or shorting, and you get stopped out in a huge long and I get stopped out in profit. And then your arc as a villain has begun. And you're kind of fucked, to be honest, because it's self-prophesizing. Alrighty. Alpeasy, since the CME bad lows are bad, are you looking to TP your longs earlier, maximize profits? That's exactly what we said, Alpeasy. Not even just today. Even if the CME lows were like really nice and there was a really good buying tail, Alpeasy, let's just say that there was like a crazy wick. let's just pretend, brother, that this is letter. Let's just assume that it was a really nice buying tell. Okay? You still have gap. Well, the other thing is a little bit, I can't pull up Quant Tower, but you have unfinished volume nodes on derivatives. So, yes, Alpizi, this is the kind of the way, this is why Alpizi, I always highlight everybody has their own subconscious, and there's nothing that I'm going to be able to say to convince your subconscious otherwise. So if you're not as bullish as I am subconsciously, even if it gives you a 382 or a 05 pullback, you're going to stubbornly wait for golden pocket or 75 because you're not as bullish as I am. You know what I mean? So that being said, I already went into this knowing that my emotional expectation is I'm going to get stopped out in profit. Depending on how this gap is reacted, and tonight for the rest of the time that markets are doing its thing, and then also Friday when they open back for an hour, I'm going to be seeing what it wants to do. That will ultimately determine. So I think Alpizi, the best answer is, I don't know what the fuck is going to go on. The best way that I can give myself the highest chance is wait until Monday. So basically I'm playing this. I hope Macaulay Culkin doesn't stop me out. I hope they don't stop out the long. But if they do, I'm ready to get back in that bitch. I'm not really trying to maximize profits on the long. I just want to make sure that I'm managing risk well. So does it make sense to keep the long open even though that there's a gap down there and it's spending time in the gap, which means that the longer time it spends in the gap, there's a higher chance it's going to get filled. It'll be stuff like that, Alpizi. Yeah, right says, are you waiting for it to make a higher high to set stop loss in profit? So we actually talked about this. So this, if you rewind, you're going to hear me say this is the higher high, and you're already putting your stop loss in profit. All right, there it is. Hey, you know what I'm going to say. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Let's see if we don't get stopped out. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Enjoy the 4th of July. Y'all, Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss, Sato.